Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. What's up? Hey guys, so plant we're talking about today is my yucca plant here. Haha. This is the Latin name for this plant is known as Yucca gloriosa. Glorioso. Yucca glorioso. There it is. Also, aka known as the Spanish dagger. And I think that's awesome that that's the name of this, is the aka the Spanish dagger. And I think it's obviously why it would be called a dagger, because it looks like daggers are just shooting out from it. Also, kind of reminds me, reminiscent of the Game of Thrones. So yeah, I love this plant. This plant is a great plant. This plant requires high light conditions and dry conditions. I mean, so if you live in, like, I don't know, Arizona, New Mexico, and you want to keep this plant, well, I guess if you lived anywhere except if it's really, really cold, but this plant would probably thrive in those high sun and dry conditions. This is a great outdoor plant as well as an indoor plant. I have not taken this plant outside, and the only reason why is that I really just didn't think another plant looked as good as this one does in the spot that it's in. So yeah, I found it aesthetically pleasing where it was at. But if I was really into the growth of it, this would be a great plant to take outside for the spring and summertime, because this is ultimately a slow growing plant, and in the summertime it is in its growing season, is when it's really, really starting to grow. And so to help speed that process up would be like giving it optimum conditions, which would be outside in a really bright area. This could probably even take, I find it so hard for a couple of my plants to take, that say they take direct heat, direct sun, and they don't. Like my bird of paradise right now, I put it in direct sun and it's not liking it at all, and I need to move it. But anyway, the yucca plant here is what I would say, very easy here. I water this about every 14 to 21 days. I have gone up to 3 weeks without watering this plant, and it does fine. It does like to be more on the dry side. It does get fertilized. And this particular plant I fertilize different than I do all the rest of them that I have. Normally when I fertilize my plants, the first thing that I like to do is I like to drench it. Just drench it in some water, just give a good run through and let it just all drain out of the bottom of it. And then I will go back with the fertilizer once it's completely drained and add in the fertilizer on it. Well, with the yucca plant, this particular plant, I don't do that. I just straight go with fertilizer and water with it, because it doesn't need as much. I mean, like, if I give it a complete draining, I might do it. I think I've done it once, and I've owned this plant since December. So once I'll just drain it out really good. I keep this particular plant covered in sand. And in the off season, when it doesn't get fertilized, the only thing I do is I just give it straight water. It's not mineral spring or anything. It's just right out of the tap water. It does fine with it. The one thing that I am noticing right now is my plant is very dusty, and I need to go through with a warm paper, a wet paper towel, and wash all these leaves off. And then I also like to take, with leaves like this, I also just like to take a little bit of fresh lemon and just run it across the leaves, and that really helps with the shine of them. I really, really love this plant. This plant is in its growing right now. Ultimately, it's a slow grower, but once it's in its growing season, like it's in it right now, you really do want to make sure you're fertilizing it to really capitalize on that growth. This plant has shot out a few new leaves. Like this is a new leaf. This is a new leaf, and then within that new leaf, Boom, there's another new leaf popping out. So it's growing like crazy. I really, really do love this. So I keep this plant indoor, highlight, lots and lots of, it gets a lot of light. Next year, if I don't do it this year, definitely next year, I will definitely move it outside. Propagating. This plant, it can be propagated, but my plant is small compared to what the yucca looks like. These yuccas can get as tall as trees. So it is not a good idea to propagate this plant until it grows more, because the way you would propagate it would be cutting off the stem, and this plant needs to grow more up in order to do that. So this plant, I don't know any other way to propagate it. The propagation of this plant is that there are plenty of videos on YouTube that shows you how to propagate a yucca plant full grown. And basically what they do is they cut the stem, and once you cut the stem halfway off, it encourages the stalk to split off and grow new leaves. And then you can also, the part that you chopped off, you can also plant it in soil, and with a few months it takes root. My yucca here, I cannot propagate right now. This is a baby yucca. This is probably what with some people, this is probably a pup. This is probably a little bit bigger than a pup, and they sold this in the store. This is a very common plant. I actually got this from a big box store. I don't remember, I think it was Lowe's that I purchased this from, and I actually purchased it on clearance, so I got it in a very not so nice way. It was damaged, I think it was, but it was a beautiful, if I might be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure I got it on clearance. A very beautiful blend, very easy to care for. I had the container before I had the plant. The container that is in, y'all know I am very partial to ceramic. I love ceramic containers, and this plant will do great, I think, in just about any container, but it's probably preferred if it doesn't go into the ground, because you can't put this into the ground. It's probably terracotta, because this plant doesn't need to hold a lot of moisture, so you can actually it actually pulls the moisture. Terracotta pots actually pull the moisture away from the plant, so if you do overwater it, you have that. But this was just pretty, y'all, so I chose pretty over the terracotta, because look at that. Look at that. So pretty. And I picked this up a while ago at Target. You know, it's just so pretty. So I could not resist. Poisonous. Yes, this plant is poisonous. Poisonous to your pets. If you have dogs and cats, you want to keep them away from this. It is not deadly to them. It's not deadly poisonous, but they can and will suffer some vomiting. Cats will suffer dilated pupils, and they said some dogs will become lethargic. So yeah, so I just say keep it away. This actually in my home it sits on a high chair, and the only dog I would actually really worry about this would be Pepper. Ginger has a nose of the knowing, and she's chewed on my palm before, but anything else, no. But Pepper, I have to be really mindful of Pepper, because she's chewing on everything right now. She just chewed on my peacock calathea, and so that's why I'm really paying attention to see what is poisonous, what is not. I have baby gapes roped off of the room. Try to have no plants on the floor that it was in her reach, because I love my Pepper. She's a pain in my ass. She really is. My puppy's life is not for me, but I love my 3-month-old baby pup. So let's see. So I guess just for a wrap up, easy plant. If you're a beginner, get this plant. So the first 3 videos that we have talked about are easy plants. Next video, we're going to talk about the plants aren't going to be so easy. But I'll get to that in a second. But if you see your Spanish dagger, you should definitely go out and grab you one. Very affordable. you can get a very tall one. I got this one on clearance for like $8 to $10. However, I've seen them in Lowe's from as low as $15 up to around $24, $25 in Lowe's, but they're much bigger than this. Extremely bigger. I don't know if you can see it, but in the background there is my fiddle leaf fig, and that one is sitting on the floor, so it's about 3-4 feet tall right now, and that's what the yuccas. And that's how big they were, and that's how much they cost. And I thought this was a reasonable price. I didn't really know why this one was on clearance, but I definitely would recommend this one because it's beautiful. I just love the way the leaf shoots directly up and fall out. This is actually a beautiful plant. It's very easy to take care of. I mean, it's just amazing how many easy care plants out there. The variety of them is more than what you think. So if you are new to the plant world, stay watching my channel because I'm going to introduce you in this 30-day series to a lot of different easy plants. And speaking of that, next up, we will be talking about Anthurium. So come back. I'll see you next time. Stick around with me, and I'll promise I'll come back with a glass of wine. So come on back for more Latanya's Planting and Drinking. And remember, guys, if you really like this video, give it a thumbs up. Okay. Talk to you soon. Bye.